There are 10 problems with Easter. Here's the list. A day begins with light, but Easter traditionally has days that start in darkness, like this chart. Exodus 12:22 shows Passover was kept the night of the 14th. They can't leave until sunrise, and Numbers 33:3 shows they left on the 15th. So they couldn't leave till sunrise, and it was the 14th that night, and in the morning it's the 15th. This shows the day change was at sunrise. In Genesis 1:5, God called the light day. There was no pre-existing day.
Second witness.
But this chart has days starting with sunset,
Following a man-made tradition.
Let me explain the chart. Abib is the first month of the biblical calendar, a calendar with a 7-day week, and every 7th day is a Sabbath. Some claim Wednesday crucifixion. Some claim Thursday crucifixion. But Easter tradition is that Jesus was crucified on a Friday, known as Good Friday. The Bible shows his death was on Passover, which is always the 14th day of the month. So once the 14th is put on a weekday, we can number the days of the month around it. Jesus said, as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the great fish, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. This means Jesus was in the grave for 3 days and 3 nights. Was his burial before sunset, or was it before sunrise? Exodus 12:10 and Deuteronomy 21:23, 2 witnesses that it was before sunrise. But Easter puts the burial of Jesus on Friday just before sunset, right here on the chart. Now count the days of Easter. Friday is the first day in the heart of the earth. Saturday is the first night and the second day. Sunday is the second night, and Sunday morning is the third day when Jesus rose from the dead. The third day in the grave is the first day of the week. But that doesn't make Easter correct. It only allows 2 nights in the grave. That's a contradiction. Saturday night and Sunday night. But someone came up with the custody theory. They seen that the 3 days and only 2 nights don't fit. So they simply counted backwards from the resurrection to add the missing night. So custody theory starts here. But there's a problem. Jesus isn't in the grave here. So they redefined heart of the earth. It's not just the grave. It's when he was in custody too. Jonah's time in the fish represents Christ's time in the grave. There's nothing biblical to show custody was included. This is like Dr. Seuss doctrine. Jonah's in a red fish, but if you don't fit in the red fish, we'll add a blue fish too. Neither Easter doctrine or custody theory can harmonize with the verses in Matthew and Mark that say he would rise after 3 days. John 12:1 says 6 days before Passover, Jesus arrives in Bethany. Let's number the days before Passover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We end up on the 8th. The next day, Jesus rides into Jerusalem on a donkey. That day is Selection Day, but this puts it on the 9th. This is a problem. Selection Day is the 10th. You'll find this in Exodus 12:3. Mark 14:1 Speaking of the night Judas first betrays Jesus, Scripture puts it 2 days before Passover. But these doctrines put it 3 days before Passover. The Last Supper was the Passover. Was it or was it not? Christ had to die on Passover. He is the Passover meal. There was no way for him to keep that Passover. John 18:28 shows that the Passover meal had not been eaten when Jesus is taken before Pilate. That's after the Last Supper. The Last Supper was not the Passover. John 13, now before the Passover and supper being ended. That's a second witness. Resurrection Sunday morning at sunrise puts 12 hours between the end of the Sabbath and the first account of anyone seeing Jesus. Why was there a time delay? If he was waiting for Sabbath to end, he could have rose 12 hours earlier. There's no account for this gap. There's no reason for it.
It makes no sense.